YouTube, I'm just doing a quick video this morning of the overview of the Intellipanel on the Kubota Grand L40 series tractor. When I say Intellipanel, I'm referring to the instrument panel up here. Intellipanel is what Kubota like to call it. This particular tractor is a Kubota Grand L40, but the Intellipanel on this tractor is identical right through the Grand L40 series range, starting from the Grand L3240 right up to the Grand L5740. So, come up here and I'll show you how it all works. Okay, here it is, the Intellipanel of the Kubota Grand L40 series tractor. At the moment the ignition is turned off, and that is what it looks like. We have one big analog gauge there, which is the engine RPM, revolutions per minute, and just above that you'll see an LCD display, and that's about all you can see at the moment. If I turn the ignition on, everything lights up momentarily, then it goes to normal operation. Okay, starting with the LCD display. Over there we have an N, which stands for neutral. That is the range selection display, and it displays what range we're in. This tractor is a hydrostatic transmission, and it has three ranges: low, medium and high. At the moment it's in neutral. If we change the range selector, so it'll go to medium range, back to neutral, high, neutral, medium, neutral, and won't go into low at the moment because the motor's not running and whatnot. Just next to that we have the speedometer, 0 at the moment because we're not moving, kilometres per hour. And just next to that we have the fuel gauge, E for empty, F for full, and that's signified by the little petrol tank icon, petrol bowser. Below that is the temperature gauge, C for cold, H for hot, and that's signified by that little icon there. And the motor's not running, and it hasn't been running today at all, so there's no bars to display whether it's, you know, warm or hot or whatever. Okay, coming over this side we have some lights. Now just above there is the PTO light. If we engage the PTO, which I'll do now, see that orange light comes on there. That displays that the PTO is engaged and working. I'll just turn the PTO off. Just below that is the oil pressure gauge. If you're working and the tractor's oil pressure drops, that light will come on to display that you have a low oil pressure. Just below that is the park brake light. If you turn the park brake off, light goes out, park brake on, light goes on. Okay, next to that is the battery light. That just displays if there's any problems with the electrical system. If the alternator's not charging, the battery fails, or any problems with the electrical system, that light will come on, signifying that you need to check your electrical system. Okay, below that, if I turn the ignition off and then turn it back on again, you'll see an orange light come up and down the bottom there. That's the glow plug light. It signifies that the glow plugs are on. If it's cold morning, you would turn the ignition on, that light would come on, you would wait until that light goes off like it has now, then you would start the tractor. Okay, turn the ignition off again, and just up there you'll see an orange, it's just gone out. Just up there you'll see a red light, a red triangle with an exclamation mark in it. That light signifies if there's any problems with the HST transmission or any other problems with the tractor. If that light was to come on, you would have to stop and check the tractor. Now just below that, I'll turn the ignition off again and on again. Just below that one there, you'll see a red sort of a circle with a little thermometer. That's your temperature overheat light. If you were running the tractor, that light comes on, you would have to stop the tractor, check your cooling system, check your coolant and whatnot to make sure all that's alright. Okay, just below over this side we have a little rabbit. We flick the switch here, that'll go to a turtle. Rabbit, turtle. That's the high-low range for the hydrostatic transmission. You've got that display there which tells you what range you're in, and you've got an additional high-low over here. So that signifies that it's in low. If you're in medium range, for example, medium range here, then you've got low, medium, high, medium, and that just tells you what the high and low is selected in, either fast or slow. Okay. Over here we have a button which is HST mode. If we press that button once, a little stall guard light comes on. That tells us that the tractor is now in stall guard mode. If you're doing any loader work or any work that puts strain on the tractor, you can select that mode, and when load is placed on the tractor, it will slow the tractor down, adjust the torque of the engine, and it will keep the tractor running and not allow you to stall. Okay, if we press this HST mode again, the little lights come on there, auto HDS. That is automatic for this high and low. So it only runs when it's in high. If you've got it in high, you press it. Now if we were doing any work and load was placed on the tractor, it would automatically switch to low itself. When the burden is taken off the tractor, it would then switch back to high. You can do it manually. If we do it manually now, it's gone to low. The auto HDS light flashes, signifying it's in manual mode. That won't change back to high unless we manually change it ourselves, and now it's in automatic. Okay, just above that there, it's not going to work because motor's not running and it's not in gear, is a cruise light. If you set the cruise control, cruise light will come on there to tell you it's in cruise. Now down on this side we have a display mode button. If we press this button, which I will do now, watching the display there in the middle where the kilometres are, displaying kilometres per hour, if we press it, that will go to PTO. At the moment the PTO is off, but it tells you if the PTO is on and what the PTO speed is. Press it again, that tells us the hours that the tractor has operated since new, 48.7 hours. It's basically like your odometer in your car, and it just tells you the overall hours. If we go to the hour meter, that tells us what the hours that the tractor's operated since we last reset it. It's just like your trip meter in your car, and it tells you how many hours you've been working. If you hold down the display mode button while the hour meter is displayed, you hold it down for about 2 seconds, it'll actually reset it, which it's been reset already. Now if we press this display mode button again, it goes to the speedometer again, miles per hour, and then back to kilometres per hour, and it keeps cycling through the many times you press the button. Now if we've got a button over here that says travel speed, if we press the travel speed, regardless of where the display is, it'll go straight back to the speedometer. Okay, this lever over here is just your engine RPM, increases, decreases. This button here is your high and low. This button here, or this dial here, sorry, is the HST response. We got fast and slow. If you turn that dial to there to fast, the response will be fast. When you press the pedal to make the tractor move, the response will be very quick and sudden. If we change that to there to slow, it will be a slow cushioned response, and you've got all these settings in between to change the HST response. Okay, on the middle of the steering wheel we have the horn. Over on this side we've got the indicators, turn right, turn left, and in the display there we have the indicators. If we twist this knob here, we've got the lights. So headlight on, high beam. We have a high beam light there that tells you that the high beam's on. This button down here is the hazard lights. We press that, of course that's the hazard lights, just like a car. Turn them off now. Now when we start the tractor, the clutch must be depressed. If the clutch isn't depressed, the LCD actually tells us that the clutch is not depressed, and it tells us to depress the clutch. Clutch depress. The PTO also must be in neutral. If the PTO is not in neutral, it'll tell us that as well. The PTO neutral. Okay, we'll start the tractor. As we can see, the tachometer is telling us what the engine RPM is. Now we'll go to the PTO display. PTO off. We engage the PTO. As you can see, the light is on to tell us that the PTO is on. The rear PTO is spinning at 190. If we increase the engine RPM, it increases. We turn the PTO off. Now, if we engage the cruise control, let's just select the gear. That's L there for low. If we engage the cruise control, there's that cruise light to tell us that the cruise control's on. Okay, we'll just turn the tractor off now. And there we have it, an overview of the Intellipanel of the Grand L40 series tractor.